Picture this, a misty morning in medieval Japan. Two warriors stand face to face, silent, still. Then a single step. A flash of steel, and in a heartbeat, everything is decided. For centuries, these elite warriors shaped Japan's history through discipline, loyalty, and the sword. They were feared, they were respected. And their code of honor became legend, but who were they really? How did they rise to power, and what made them so different from other warriors in the world? This is the untold story of the samurai, Japan's ancient warriors. To understand the samurai, we need to travel back more than 1,000 years to a time when Japan wasn't yet a single unified nation. In the late 8th and 9th centuries, the imperial court in Kyoto struggled to maintain control over distant provinces. Power began to shift from emperors to local landowners, the daimyo, powerful warlords who needed skilled fighters to protect their territories. Out of this growing need, a new class emerged, the samurai. The word samurai means to serve, and at first, that's exactly what they did. They served noble families, protecting lands and enforcing order. But they were more than fighters. They embodied discipline, loyalty, and unshakable duty to their masters. What began as local protectors would soon rise to become the ruling class of Japan. The samurai were not only defined by their swords but by their code. This code was called Bushido, the way of the warrior. It wasn't written on scrolls at first. It lived in their actions, their discipline, and their loyalty. Bushido demanded honor above life, loyalty to one's lord, courage even in the face of certain death, respect and self-control, and integrity, to live and die by one's word. To the samurai, losing honor was worse than losing life. This is why acts like seppuku, ritual suicide, became a way to preserve dignity even in defeat. They weren't just warriors with weapons, they were warriors with a philosophy. And that made them unlike any other military force in the world. Becoming a samurai wasn't easy. It took years of brutal training, not just in combat but in mind, spirit, and character. Young boys of samurai families began training at an early age kenjutsu, the art of the sword, kyudo, archery, horsemanship, and later, strategy and poetry. Yes, poetry. The samurai believed that true strength included refinement of the mind. They studied calligraphy, literature, and philosophy. A great warrior had to be as skilled with the brush as with the blade. This balance of strength and intellect made them not just fighters, but living symbols of their culture. Over time, the samurai went from protectors to rulers. As the imperial court grew weaker, local warlords became more powerful. And at the heart of their armies stood the samurai, loyal, deadly, and disciplined. By the 12th century, rival clans were fighting for control of Japan. One of the most legendary of these wars was between the Taira and the Minamoto clans. The Minamoto emerged victorious. And in 1192, their leader Minamoto no Yoritomo became Japan's first shogun. This moment changed everything. The emperor remained a symbolic figure, but real power now belonged to the shogunate, a military government led and enforced by samurai. For the next 700 years, the samurai would shape the destiny of Japan. They ruled not with gold or crowns, but with steel and honor. Their loyalty was absolute, their discipline unmatched, and their influence uncheckable. The image of a samurai is unforgettable, a figure wrapped in layered armor, face hidden behind a fearsome mask, standing tall with a sword that seemed almost alive. Their armor, or yoroi, was built for mobility, not just protection. It was made of lacquered plates tied together with silk cords designed to move with the body, not against it. But their greatest symbol was the katana, the curved, single-edged sword that became legendary around the world. The katana wasn't just a weapon, it was a soul. Samurai believed their sword carried their honor, their spirit, and their identity. Alongside the katana, they carried a shorter blade called the wakizashi, forming the daishu, the great and small. Together, these swords represented the warrior's life and death. But the samurai were more than swordsmen. They mastered archery, spears, and horseback combat. Their battles were precise, efficient, and deeply tied to ritual and pride. Every fight wasn't just war, it was a statement of who they were, but no power lasts forever. As Japan modernized in the 19th century, the samurai's world began to fade away. The arrival of Western influence forced Japan to transform. The Meiji Restoration in 1868 abolished the feudal system. For the first time in centuries, the samurai lost their special status. Their armor was set aside, their swords were banned in public, and their warrior class, once the backbone of the nation, became a memory. But here's the truth, the samurai never truly disappeared. Their values, discipline, loyalty, courage, and honor became the foundation of modern Japanese culture. Their influence shaped Japan's military, its traditions, its martial arts, and even its national identity. The samurai's legacy still lives today in films, philosophy, and every place where honor and discipline are respected. The samurai were more than just warriors, they were a way of life. They rose from humble beginnings to rule a nation through the sharpness of their swords and the strength of their honor. Even when their era ended, their spirit did not die. It lives in every story told, every blade forged, every code of honor that survives today. If this journey through history fascinated you, don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover more hidden stories of the ancient world. Like this video if you believe the samurai deserve to be remembered. Turn on notifications so you won't miss our next deep dive into the legends that shaped our world. The samurai's swords may have been sheathed, but their legacy still cuts through time.